Joseph, in the context of some of the corporate fines we've seen this year, 300 million isn't very much, but this isn't banks being fined by the US authorities. This is GlaxoSmithKline being charged by the Chinese authorities. And in that context, it's quite a big fine. Tell us, what is Glaxo being fined for today?
It's the result of a year-long investigation into whether its subsidiary in China was bribing essentially doctors to go to like conferences and so on, essentially to increase revenues. As you say, it is a big fine. It's 3 billion renminbi, or just under $500 million. It's also had to essentially apologise to the people of China, which is, you're apologising to like 1.3 billion people.
It's a big apology.
Yeah, it's humiliating in a way. I mean, these were serious allegations. The question is, now that they've paid this large fine, what happens next to their business in China?
For a company of Glaxo's size, it's $500 million. They can take that in their stride. The corporate apology, they'll take that in their stride. But what are the long-term implications of this for Glaxo?
Well, you could say that GSK shareholders won't really mind too much, because you could say the effect has already been priced into the shares. They're down a fifth since this investigation began. They're trading at about 15 times earnings, which for a pharma company is neither here nor there, really. And you could argue, well, sure, revenues in China will grow a bit slower. That's fine, because they're still, barely 3% of overall sales. You'll just take it in your stride. I wouldn't be so confident, however, because even though there will not be formal government oversight of Glaxo's business going forward, Glaxo will nevertheless have to change its business quite a lot, and that will be challenging given China's healthcare system is market-based, and in particular, it doesn't pay its doctors very well.
So do you think then there are the consequences for the other actors in the Chinese market? And what about for the other big pharmaceutical companies that are active in China?
Well, look at what Glaxo said in its apology today, really. It said, essentially, it will cut prices and get better at sort of sending drugs out to rural areas. Which is, great. It's a very different approach, but its competitors won't necessarily do that in the same way. And the other sort of background stuff, you have to change your payment system. You have to change the way sales reps are basically rewarded. You can't just reward them on the basis of commissions and so on. For a drug company, that's quite a big cultural transformation, and it's not necessarily the case that your competitors will join you in that process.
Not something clearly that Glaxo will be able to sweep under the carpet quickly, however much it might wish to do that. Joseph, thanks very much.